Bloody hell.
Just sticking with the Prime Minister, difficult last few days for him in terms of this Rwanda bill, a couple of resignations for him yesterday. What do you make of the grip that he has on his own party at the moment?
Well, Kevin, first and foremost, I find Rishi Sunak one of the most repugnant people to ever sit in the House of Commons. But apart from that, his Rwanda bill isn't going to do much for me or the rest of the country domestically. It's going to make it much harder for me to resettle Dundee and Fife with Palestinians. While I'm no lawyer, I'm pretty sure it's in breach of international law as well. It's going to inflame tensions around asylum seekers, refugees, and even more. And when Scotland's only 95.5% white, I've got to try as much as I can to try and change that balance. It's time that political leaders should be trying to simmer these tensions down, but to be honest, I think I have to admire Sunak in one respect, in that he's doing exactly the same as me, and while I normally don't give a toss for him, he's bringing down England just as quickly as I'm bringing down Scotland, because let's face it, we both know we're not going to be there after the election. It's a bit of a scorched earth policy. But anyway, we'll just carry on until we get the actual boot. I'm great. Fancy a bacon roll, Kevin? It's Friday night. It's John and Ben. Things have occurred. The game is afoot. It's all in.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
Oh shit.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, heart full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me?
And we go straight to the crime scene. Ben, over to you at the Locus.
I've got the fan on very,
Is that
very
where the
loudly,
wine
and-
is?
What you what's that? Yeah. Do you want me to turn it down?
It's up to
even
you.
though I'm cooking here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Whatever. Open the door.
No. Yeah, so we think we know who did it. But
So,
we just found my
Ben,
studio.
explain to the viewers. Explain what's occurred.
Well, we just found my studio absolutely trashed, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Everything seems to be working. Nothing was taken. Things were unplugged. The heating was switched on. The light stand was snapped in two. Don't know, but everything seems to be working. Like I say, we think we know who did it anyway.
Yeah. Well, you were up and working quicker than I was. Because after
Yeah.
Ben got his studio back together, having turned up quite late, may I add, we then found out the audio wasn't working very well.
Oh yeah, the lock's missing, Shalini. To answer that question, the lock's gone. We don't know where that is. So we have to put another one on. Don't know where that is.
Yeah, yeah. Swatted.
So I say, well, we were. No, I think we know exactly who did it. Put it that way.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the balls to actually take anything because we'd have just gone and knocked on their door. Put it that way. But yeah, no, it's all good. Everything's working. Everything's fine. I've got nothing to worry about. I don't need anything replacing. It's all good. So
Yeah.
the show must go on.
Okay. So yeah, the show must go on. So
It must.
bloody hell, what the hell is going on in the world? It's just getting worse and worse.
Well, it's all getting a bit ridiculous,
Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
And it just.
I was just listening to Jimmy Dore, right? And
Oh, right.
he can be quite funny. And he was telling me about this CBS reporter who's predicting 2024 will have a Black Swan event. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the definition of a Black Swan event one that comes as a complete surprise that you haven't predicted? These people are nuts. Yes. Round up the horses. Get the posse ready.
Jesus Christ, it is hot in here. So I apologise if I'm a little bit. It is hot.
Initially I thought it was my tinnitus because it was particularly bad this evening. But then I realised that whine was more than that. It was almost like it was almost like a jet engine on fire.
Well, I've turned it down a bit now, right? And for your benefit, which means I am suffering for your benefit, John.
You are such a good guy. Such a good guy. Let's start as we mean to go on. Jet engine.
Let's do it. Let's
Jet
do it.
engine on fire.
Oh my god, it's on fire. Oh my god. Sorry. It's on fire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was on fire. Yeah, that's the 747-8, I think, that caught fire leaving Miami International. Engine fire. I initially thought it was a freight aircraft, Atlas. It was Atlas Air. I think they're freight. I might be wrong.
I think it was American Air.
No, it was Atlas Air.
Okay.
Which I think is freight. So I thought maybe a lithium battery fire, but no, apparently it was an engine fire. So 747's got 4. That's fine. You can do
And it
without
looks
one.
It looks like it was turned around and made a safe landing and nobody on board was harmed, which is otherwise, it makes a pretty awesome visual, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like knowing that nobody was harmed.
Yeah.
And then we juxtapose that against something I sent you earlier. Another flight emergency today, wasn't there, John?
Yeah, I haven't got a clip for that. But that's
No.
nothing unusual. You know, was
No.
it not Ryanair with drunkards?
Yeah, so this morning, Luton to Lanzarote was diverted to Portugal, I believe, because 7 drunk Brits decided to get in a brawl on the plane.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That
Right.
also landed safely. One arrest.
So the I don't understand that. The question is, why was he allowed on the plane if he was that drunk?
Well, it seems to me like a bunch of them were
Yeah,
drunk.
well-
This is Ryanair.
Yeah.
Let's face it, they didn't buy the drink on the plane, because you try and buy a drink on a Ryanair or an EasyJet flight, and you buy a drink on one of those flights and then tell me you have any money left in your bank after.
No. Can't.
Oh,
They,
dear.
and they don't take cash. That's why I don't buy in those airlines.
Well, yeah, they don't take cash, do they? Shalini says exactly why they were allowed on board. Ah, yes, we saw some drunkards here. We might get a bit of a mark. We might be able to sell them a £17 pint.
Yeah.
And no, what actually happened is you ended up diverting to Portugal. Diverting to Portugal. And I imagine a whole plane load of people were going, boo!
Well, yeah, and because let's face it, Ryanair is a shoestring airline. They
Well,
don't,
yeah,
they don't,
absolutely.
they don't have extra planes to put on. So that then knocks on to the next flight. It knocks on to the people that have been inconvenienced. I mean, the whole thing knocks on for the whole day. It screws up their whole flight plan.
It is what it is.
Yeah, indeed it is.
It is what it is.
So
And that's the definition of a British air emergency these days, really.
Well, yeah, probably, pretty much. So let's go to the big news of the day, right?
Right.
Tata.
You've been waiting all day to say that, haven't you?
Tata.
All day.
Well, actually, I want to bring you.
Ta-ta.
I want to point you out Rishi Sunak's tweet here from September the 15th, 2023.
Okay,
We've
let's hear it.
agreed a joint $1 billion investment with Tata Steel Limited to save thousands of British jobs and secure the future of the steel industry in Wales. From September
How did
the
that work out?
15th, 2023. That's aged well, hasn't it?
Yeah. Julie says my eldest job lost
Mm-hmm.
his job here today.
Yeah, along with 2,799 other people, I believe. That's freaking ridiculous.
Well, it is ridiculous. And if we've pumped, or at least agreed to pump £1 billion of taxpayers' money, obviously, into Tata Steel, why are they reneging on their side of the bargain? I'll tell you why. Because manufacturing is cheaper in China. That's why.
Or India, which is where they come
Or
from.
India. Yeah, China and India.
Yeah.
So they've looked at it and they've obviously thought we'll save more than we'll gain by getting that investment.
Mhm.
And it unfortunately is business.
Yeah.
However, the British government has created the climate in which they felt the need to do that.
Yeah, but they're also becoming arseholes because they're talking about preparing for war with Russia, right? They seem to be convinced that they'll be engaged in some kind of military action at some point in the next few years, not necessarily against Russia. And now we don't have any steel industry. So who's going to make all our weapons?
I'll tell you who.
Go, China?
China. Hey, China, could you please manufacture our weapons so that we can use them in a war against you and your allies? Yeah, okay, Britain, we'll make your weapons. We send you water guns.
You know, for all Donald Trump's faults, right, he did have a bit of a, I think he had a bit of a revelation when he decided to try and bring manufacturing back into the States. And really, is it not time we started doing that as well? Because this isn't boding well, outsourcing everything. And as a service industry, we're pretty pish at it. So,
oh yeah, we are. And yeah, I've banged on about this point for I think the entire time we've done this show. What we've done over the course of the last few decades is we've become a service industry because we were an industrious nation.
well, yeah, it's been over a few decades, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not just us. We're not the only country guilty of this. The Western world has outsourced everything to what we consider to be poorer countries, or our governments consider to be poorer countries. China, India, especially, Taiwan as well. If you count Taiwan as a different country to China, many don't, many do. But we've done that, and we've become extremely reliant on that outsourcing. We've become extremely reliant on getting those shipments, and we're gonna fall to bits without it. And if we do end up in a hot war with a bunch of these countries, we can't rely on them. And it's not like we've got the capacity, and especially now with this steelworks closing down, we don't have the capacity to ramp up production in our own country. So what are we going to do?
Yeah, I know. I mean, the whole thing's ridiculous. And, these kind of stupid statements that we get from NATO warns of all-out war with Russia in the next 20 years. It's just nonsense, people. It's nonsense. There's no reason for us to go to war with Russia.
No.
None whatsoever. If we hadn't poked our nose into Ukraine, we would be sitting here a damn sight better off and under a damn sight less stress than we are right at this minute.
Precisely. I'm no fan of the Russian government. I'm no fan of the Ukrainian government. I'm no fan of the British government.
I'm no fan of government.
Yeah, governments are responsible for everything. They are responsible for well, they're not responsible for everything. Okay, let's walk that one back. But they are responsible for all of these wars, hardships that we are put into that beyond our control, shall we say?
Yeah.
And at some point, we've got to take a look at the system. We've got to take a look at the system and go, this isn't working for us. I don't know if I'll see that point in my lifetime. I'm getting less and less positive than I may.
Yeah. Well,
it's
people
don't see it.
Well, see, that's the problem. It's the turnings, and things are, you can't stop them. And it is happening, and the fall of Western civilization is well underway. But it'll peak and trough. It'll peak and trough, and then it'll either, well, it won't happen in our lifetime, Ben. We'll long gone before it actually falls, actually crumbles into nothing. Unless there's a Black Swan event. Could we predict that? Oh, hold on. No, you can't predict Black Swan events.
Jimmy Dore can.
No, it wasn't Jimmy Dore. It was the CBS reporter. She was predicting 2024 as a Black Swan event.
Was it going to be Coof 2, Electric Coughing Boogaloo?
You can't actually predict a Black Swan event. That's the whole definition of a Black Swan event.
Yes, I know. Okay, but you also can't have tabletop. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to get the channel hurt by saying what I was about to say.
No, don't.
Whatever. I won't say it.
Let's have
can't war game certain things.
Let's zip across. Let's zip across to the land of fire and ice, because this I thought was quite impressive. That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Glorious, baby. It's absolutely glorious.
You wouldn't want to live there, though.
I mean, no, certainly not, especially right now. But it is, it's lovely, isn't it? Like, it's horrid. It's horrid, but at the same time, Mother Nature can do some beautiful things. Like, I'm obsessed with extreme weather event. I think that they're gorgeous.
I used to watch the storm chasing stuff. I used to think
Oh.
that was brilliant fun. I would have loved to have done that.
I mean, I think I would have loved to have done that.
Yeah. In fact, I diced a bit with a hurricane once when I was in Florida because there was a hurricane coming. We were all ordered to evacuate. So we had to evacuate our hotel in Miami. And we drove over to Naples and spent the night there. And then I'm watching the weather forecast and I'm reading it and I'm going, this hurricane's going to turn. You know, it's not going to hit. It's not going to hit Florida at all. So while everyone's still evacuating the Keys, I'm driving down into them and ended up in a hotel all to myself. It was absolutely brilliant. The hurricane had turned and they didn't hit Florida. So all was well.
All was well.
All was well.
I mean, there are certain people who are probably sitting there thinking right now,
You're a top, sir.
if only it hadn't have turned.
We wouldn't
If
have
only
to,
it hadn't.
we wouldn't have to listen to the ramblings of this drunken Scotsman.
Well,
and yes, I know,
they
I'm
don't have
drinking.
to.
You made me drink after the turbulent news of you being broken into and turned over.
Look, John, let's not lie now. Okay.
Okay, I'm not lying.
First of all, and second of all, here's a little it's like a revelation. Okay?
What?
For the people that might think the way you just spoke. Switch it off. If you don't want to watch it, and you don't want to listen to the drunken ramblings of a drunk Scotsman and an autistic Englishman,
Yeah.
then don't.
You're slightly out of
Your
focus.
choice. You want me to move in?
No, move back. No, I don't. About there's your focal plane, I think.
Oh, yeah. If you don't want to listen to it, then don't. Don't have to. You don't have to listen to us. You don't have to record every piece of content we ever make. You don't have to do these things.
Anyway, moving on.
You don't want to.
This can't, right, has removed the requirement for Uber drivers, private hire, whatever, to be able to speak basic English.
Why?
I have no idea. I think, well, because really, and let's be honest now, I mean, do we really need to speak English in London anymore? Can we not just agree to speak Arabic or something like that?
I mean, we could. Yeah. If we need to, we need to embrace DEI, don't we? Diversity and all that.
Yeah.
Diversity.
DIE.
DEI, I think it is.
It's just an anagram for DIE.
But all I'm saying is, you know, if people want us to adapt to their culture, then maybe, John, maybe it's time we just go, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You know, we've never been culturally the same at all, but because you're upset, we'll just do as you say. You're right.
Right.
Look, John.
Yeah,
I've
Ben.
got to the point in my life where I've been thinking about this. I've been thinking about this greatly, and the idea of giving many fucks is gone. Okay, it's gone.
Yeah, I know. I mean, let's be honest. Ideally, I'd like somewhere with a porch out front that I could pull up a chair, pour myself a nice short drink, and just sit there and watch the world disintegrate.
Yeah, watch the world burn. Watch the world burn.
Yeah.
And we could just sit here laughing about it as it happens, I guess.
Yeah. Speaking about laughing about things as they happen, right?
Yeah.
So Iran decided to fire upon Pakistan with ballistic missiles. Right?
I already know what you're going to say.
And I'm thinking, okay, right, so we now got two countries of the religion of peace knocking fuck out of each other because Pakistan then decides to fire back with an aircraft strike.
Yeah, of course.
Right,
I mean,
okay.
that's what you do.
So, meanwhile, China's like, you to play nicely in playground because they're thinking Belt and Road. You know, you'll destroy our railway. No, destroy our railway. Leave our road. Leave our road alone.
For fuck's sake.
And then to put the sugar, the icing on the cake, right?
This is the best
That's
part about all of this, boys and
The
girls.
fucking Taliban issue an official statement calling on Pakistan and Iran to exhibit restraint and avoid violence. The fucking Taliban.
Look, I tried to tell you earlier, after the Taliban's violent incursion to take over Afghanistan recently, you know, when the US had to shamefully pull out.
Yeah.
After that violent incursion, where they basically gave no quarter, did you not see them on the dodgems, John?
Yes,
They changed.
I
That
know.
was it. They became freedom fighters because they won. Do you not understand this?
Yeah.
So when they won, they got on the dodgems, and then the second they got on the dodgems, never seen a dodgem before in their bloody lives. But the second they got on them, that was it. Game over, man. The Taliban have changed. They want peace.
Who the absolute fuck, right? Who the absolute fuck had it on their bingo card that the Taliban would be calling for peace in 2024?
I saw them on the dodgems. I had that on my...
Now, I actually have a little bit of a theory about the Iran thing.
Go on then.
Well, I think they thought Taliban are arseholes anyway. Not the Taliban, the Pakistanis are being a bit of arseholes anyway, because they let terrorists that do stuff in Iran live in Pakistan without any problem. So Iran thinks what we'll do is we'll drop a couple of rockets on them. And it was just to show, I think it was just to show America that your bases in that area are now within striking distance of Iran missiles.
Oh, maybe.
Because America's been a bit top doggish, aren't they? You know, we've got the Ike in the Red Sea, you know, and HMS Diamond's out there knocking drones out the sky quicker than you can say Jack Splittity Split. But so Iran goes boom. Just to remind you, that missile went further than most American bases in the Middle East.
Vaughan says in the chat, don't criticise the Taliban. Those men are the founding fathers of the United States of Afghanistan. Oh, dear. Oh, happy Friday.
So the guy that fell out the guy that fell out the flat in Dundee,
Yeah.
has died.
This is the one that Hamza Yusuf's brother-in-law has been arrested now, I guess, in suspicion of the murder or manslaughter of.
I guess
Perhaps.
so. Yeah.
Well, I've been thinking about this today, and
Oh,
you
have
know, yeah, and I see people,
Pardon me.
especially on the Twitters,
On the
thinking that this
Twitters.
has something to do with Hamza Yusuf, and do you know what? It doesn't. It doesn't have anything to do with Hamza Yusuf. Yeah, people are going to use it as a stick to beat him with,
Yeah.
and I can imagine you'll be one of those people.
Moi? Moi?
Yes.
Why would you
I
think
imagine-
that?
Well, I think you've got every reason to dislike the man, and I think you've got every reason to use any what you perceive to be ammunition that you can, okay,
Uh-huh.
to make your criticisms, and like that. However, I really don't think it has anything to do with him personally. What his brother-in-law does is what his brother-in-law does. Hamza Yusuf has got to either, I guess, stand up for his brother-in-law, or he's got to wash his hands of it completely.
Yeah. I guess so. Hamza's already on record.
I'm sure.
Yeah, Hamza,
sure he is.
Hamza said he was impressed. He was impressed that the little Ponce, or Diddy, or whatever he called him, Wee Diddy, I think. Hamza said, I'm surprised the Wee Diddy had the intelligence to actually go into that game. One of Scotland's top 3 earners. Have you not seen that, Hamza?
I did, yeah, I did see it.
Yeah.
I did see it. I did. So yeah, honestly speaking, I won't bash Hamza Yusuf over the head with it. And I mean, I know you're going to. Let's face it. We all know
of course
you're going to. But I'm not going to do it because I honestly don't think that we are responsible for the actions of others.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know. I think Nadia is responsible for a lot of Hamza's actions, especially giving 750,000 away to Palestinian aid. So yeah, I think if it had been her that was a drug dealer, I think that might have been different.
Maybe. But let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on from Scotland. What else do we have?
Well,
tonight?
let's go to Canada because we called this out at the time, right? And
we
yes,
call out a lot.
Yeah, but we called out it was climate scam. So Brian Barret has pled guilty to starting 14 forest fires in Quebec. There you go.
That, boys and girls, is just one climate activist.
Climate change conspiracy. Listen, climate change conspiracy theorist pleads guilty to starting 14 fires. I think they might have that a wee bit on the wrong side.
Yeah, I think what they mean by conspiracy theorist is that the majority of these people that are caught starting these forest fires are just stop oil types. They're just stop oil types. Yeah. Let's face it, they're cultists, they're conspiracy theorists. That's what they are. They're not. They just want to belong to something. They need to feel like they belong to something, and they end up sucked down these rabbit holes, unfortunately, and then they end up starting forest fires.
Yeah, I know. Shame. Yeah. Anyway, well, let's move on. What have we here? There you go. German protests blocking roads. French piling up bales of hail, bales of hay on the autobahns, or well, as you would call autoroutes in France. So, yeah, the German train drivers have also come out. What?
Yeah. You haven't turned the audio off, so I'm doubling through.
My mistake. The German train drivers have also come out in support, and they're on a 3-day strike now. So pretty much nothing's moving in Germany at the moment.
Question, and I might get some flack for this. I might catch some flack for this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway because I think it's relevant. You see them tractors that are all piled up in the streets there?
Diesel.
Can an ambulance get past them?
I've already pointed that out. I pointed that out, and this is you're back to. See, this is the problem, right? Because if it's something you agree with, everybody jumps on it. Yeah, that's great. You know, just stop oil, put in extra legislation and get them lifted off the roads because they're causing danger to life and they won't let ambulances through. German farmers start protesting and blocking roads. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. That's okay. It doesn't matter.
Do you know what?
Nobody dies. Nobody dies when farmers block the roads.
I want to say I completely understand and support the cause of these farmers, not just the German farmers, the Dutch farmers as well.
Yeah.
So I want to make that extremely clear before I go a bit deeper on what John just said. What I don't support is essentially blocking emergency vehicles, blocking the ordinary person from getting to their day-to-day, and that's why I'm against the just stop oil people in the road. I witnessed the anti-lockdown people actually make moves to get out of the way. That I will say.
Mhm.
If an emergency vehicle came through, they would do what they could to get out of the way as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
Whereas
well,
I'm not sure that these people could.
yeah, well, the militant mushroom says the farmers would move, but how? How would they?
How?
Look how many tractors are there. That would take ages to move all them.
Yeah, I completely agree. And so whilst I completely sympathise and agree with the plight and the cause, there's got to be another way.
Yeah.
There's got to be another way, because
And the French, the French they put hay bales right across the road, and I don't mean one high. They were using tractors to stack hay bales like eight bales high, right across the road. So the problem,
I was driving into Calais, and there were tyre fires
yeah.
and shanty huts built in the middle of the motorway.
I knew that was coming.
And, yeah,
I've had this about 5 times, but anyway,
but at least I could get round them.
So my point is, right? My point is, if you're going to support the right to protest, you have to support the right to protest for people that you don't like.
Or you have to draw some kind of line and say, when it becomes a danger to the public, then perhaps, no matter how noble the cause is, we've got to draw a line there and say, well, if you're stopping ambulances getting through, if you're stopping kids from getting to school, if you're stopping, like, extreme example, but husband and wife in the car getting to hospital to give birth, if you're making sure that these things don't happen, perhaps maybe that's where we draw the line.
Well, so the problem is, right, if you're going to protest, and let's be honest, there's no point in peaceful protest, because that's
it's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough one, but a peaceful protest is basically a bunch of people out for a walk, a guided walk at that, right? So the problem is, if you want to protest effectively, and I'll be honest, I don't approve of the Just Stop Oil stuff. I don't agree with it, but it's effective protest because it gets the message across, right?
Yeah, but it's also pissing everybody off.
Exactly, but that's effective protest. You can't protest and not piss people off. If you're protesting and not pissing people off, you're not protesting, mate. You're out for a fucking walk.
Okay. I may have phrased that poorly. What I meant was, you're pissing the wrong people off.
Hey, shit happens. That's going to happen.
Like,
define the wrong people. Well, Just Stop Oil are pissing off people that are driving cars.
Yeah, but if you want the general public on your side, perhaps don't do everything in your power to alienate absolutely every sector of society you come across.
Here.
Okay. Why turn up at the fucking World Snooker Championship, get on a snooker table and go, way?
Yeah. I'm not here as a Just Stop Oil fucking advocate. I've already told you I don't agree with it. But their protest is effective, right?
I disagree. I think the only thing it's effective at is getting everybody against them.
Doesn't matter. What's effective is getting the issue into the media. That's where they've got big. And the farmers don't. The farmers aren't getting their effect. They're not getting their protest into the media.
That's true.
That's true. It's just, I think we've got to hold ourselves, not just me and you, but well, actually, you don't have to do anything. I'm not telling you what to do at all. But I feel like I have to hold myself to a standard that says, if I support this person's right to do something, I support that person's right to do something as well. And I think I've always done that to an extent.
Well, that's kind of what I said.
It's like with all the people that say that, if a random person dies of something, oh, it's definitely the you-know-whats, right? I've always called that out and said, you can't say that, because it's just not the case.
Well, Adam's just freaking nailed the point there. Just Stop are designed to make us all turn against protesters in general. Well, maybe they are, right? But the government have seized that, and gone and run with it, haven't they? Because what they've done is they've gone and put in extra legislation. And the thing is, because of all the public going, oh, that's quite right, government, put in that extra legislation. But that legislation doesn't just apply to Just Stop Oil. It doesn't say...
No, it's going to be used against you.
Hey, if you're a Just Stop Oil protester, we could... No. If you're protesting, it's just going to be used against you. And in fact, they've started doing it already, haven't they? The police have started doing this stupid thing where they can designate an area as somewhere you can't stop or something like that. I mean, what the fuck is going... I mean, it really is turning into like Stalin's Russia. You can't go for a shit without official written permission 3 times in triplicate.
I mean, to be fair, Militant Mushroom makes a great and light-hearted point. It was only Just Stop Oil that would glue themselves to a vegetable oil tanker.
Well, that's true, yeah.
And that guy, wasn't he? He was going,
yeah,
that's cooking oil.
He goes, it's
cooking oil.
It's cooking oil.
It's cooking oil. They just see oil and they...
I know.
Off we go.
Yes, so and actually, you touched on something there, and I'm actually gonna make myself full screen here because there's a point I want to make here, right?
Okay.
Because, and I have to be careful how I phrase this, but there are, pardon me, there's been studies in the data, especially in the Oceania region, you know, Japan, Australia, Indonesia, all that, Taiwan, that area, and the studies are indicating that there's a marked correlation between excess death and certain procedures, right?
Right.
And they've kind of worked out that if you get a certain procedure, you get a 1 in 800 chance of dying, right?
Right.
That's pretty high. Okay?
Okay.
And what that means that they reckon from the procedures given, because there's been so many given, 17 million people have probably inadvertently died before they should have, right?
Okay.
Now, that sounds like a lot of people.
I mean, in the grand scheme of the globe, no, it doesn't.
That's the problem, right? So if people are going on, and they're banging on about this, because if you look at Euromomo, you don't see spikes in deaths, right? In fact, the only country that's got any excess death in the UK just now is Scotland. And even then, it's not terribly high. All the rest are right on the baseline. So we don't appear to be having a flu season yet. So people just aren't dying, right?
Well, I don't know. If you look at Vaughan, you see the sin state of him this morning.
Yeah, but he's not dead.
Not yet.
So when you think about 17 million people, right, and just to put it in perspective, if you put that 17 million people into time, and so let's call it seconds, right? 17 million seconds is 6 months, right?
Yeah, okay.
And when you compare that to the amount of people in the world, right? Or even let's just say half the amount of people in the world, because we could probably say half the people in the world have had something, right?
Right, take yourself off big screen now, you vain git.
Had a little jabby, right? So if you compare that to the amount of people that have had it, they would that would be 125 years. So 6 months versus 125 years. There's no comparison, right?
No.
So not a lot of people have died. And I know it sounds horrible, but if this is a plot to depopulate the world, it's a pretty shit plot. Because it's going to take forever at this rate.
You know what? I'm not going to sit here and deny that people have been harmed by certain things, right? I'm not going to sit here and deny that people have been killed by certain things.
Of course they have. But...
Of course they have. They absolutely have. But what I get so sick of, and if you really want to get to the bottom of it, and if you really, really want to work out what is going on, then what doesn't help being able to do that is saying every single death of every single person, oh, it must have been caused by that. It must have been caused by that. It doesn't help. It can't help, because the ones that maybe are going to slip through the net, because you know what? The vast majority of them probably weren't. The vast majority probably weren't. And I mean, even if you look at that movie by, Stupid Peters, died suddenly, was it?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, more than one of those deaths occurred before any of that existed. If you look at that tweet by Tate about Shinzo Abe,
Yeah,
and him being taken out because of that stuff. No.
Yeah,
he
I
had
know.
left office before any rollout.
I know.
No.
I know.
Now,
people like to jump to conclusions, and they like to have what they think reinforced by what they think is going on. And yes, I have no doubt that there are certain sportsmen and things like that probably being affected that shouldn't be, right?
absolutely.
I have no doubt about that. But I think many of the people that died in the 2020s and 2021s weren't necessarily from either the disease or the alleged cure. I think they were mismanaged. And I think
I mean,
our government.
We're going to be called so many names for saying
Oh
that.
yeah, I know, but
But at the end of the day, the data is the data, and it speaks for itself. And the data is telling us that it can't be as bad as some people like Stupid Peters and Dumb Luca would have you believe. And I'm sorry for, using Trumpian style nicknames there, but how these people have managed to garner the followings that they have is just...
Well, again, it's like when we go to something like the Sound of Freedom, right?
Mm.
Well,
This is going to segue us right into my rant, if you'd like.
And when you start looking at something like the Sound of Freedom and the people that are involved in that, they're not all squeaky clean.
Well, no, Tim Ballard especially. There are certainly a lot of questions to be asked about Timmy.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to pose any of those questions here, but I will say they are open, they are out there, and you should go and look it up, because it doesn't look like Tim Ballard may be as squeaky clean as he claims to be. And I mean,
and remember,
is, let's face it.
Remember the documentary that this man was making and calling it, oh no, hold on, he wasn't. He never made a fucking documentary. He wasn't involved in it.
Didn't I?
Yeah, well, we both did at the time. He was never doing it. It just never happened, and we got fucking lambasted for it as well.
Yeah. So the reason that photograph is there is because somebody tweeted this. And they said something along the lines of, "Oh look, another one. We want answers."
What, hurt his foot or his ankle?
No, because they are alluding to the boot on his foot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's hurt his foot.
But listen, there is a genuine subset of people, especially on Twitter. There is a genuine subset of people who believe that if you've got one of those medical boots on your leg, you have been tagged, as in electronically tagged, by the mustache twirling Dick Dastardlys of the world, and they're going, "We have you now, Mel Gibson. You are part of our..." And genuinely, the responses to that tweet were hundreds of people believing that Mel Gibson, because of that pressure fit boot. By the way, my friend Lisa, who I go away with, has one of these because she has a recurring ankle problem, and you could not have an electronic ankle tag on in one of those because of how tightly they compress the leg.
That's what they're for.
First and foremost. But there is a genuine subset of people who believe that that is a sign that you are part of the gang, part of the control. Seriously, It's like the transvestigators. And do you know what? I guarantee you that these people that believe this double moonlight, if you will, as transvestigators. I guarantee it. Because the other thing that's trending on Twitter today, you might not have a photograph of it, is a picture of the Rock's ex-wife and his daughter. And they're going, see, look at the Rock's The Rock, as in Dwayne The Rock Johnson. There's pictures of his ex-wife and daughter, and they are quite masculine looking, to be fair.
Yeah,
right?
but are they from Samoa as well?
More than likely.
Yeah, so they're
Anyway.
built, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, the Samoans tend to be a bit on the square side.
But still, they've been sharing this picture all around of his daughter and his ex-wife, and they've been going, you see, they're proof. They're proof of the inversion, the EGI, the elite gender inversion, right? Okay, let me just pose you one question here, transvestigators. The Rock's wife, okay? So before she was born, they knew she was gonna be married to a celebrity, so they gender inverted her before she was born because that was all mapped out and planned out for her. Is that what we're going with here, transvestigators? Is that what we're going with?
I think we've got to be. The only way it would work. Everything must be planned out years and years, decades in advance.
These people, unfortunately, have some of the loudest voices. And then what they do is they create a space for people who are asking genuine questions, who want to just know the answers to things, no matter what they are, right? These people pipe up and they go, everybody was inverted. They're all, and we're going, what the fuck are you talking about? But they're looking at us and they're going, you must believe what they say.
Can I ask a question? Why?
I want to know why. Why? I asked this before. Why would they put ankle monitors and pressure fit boots on people? Why?
Why? Yeah, why?
It's not like you're not gonna know where Mel Gibson is. It's Mel fucking Gibson. He's drunk all the time. I don't know if he's drunk all the time anymore, but he used to be drunk all the time and get himself in a lot of trouble, and he's really quite famous. So why would you need an ankle monitor on him?
Yeah, it's not going to be hard to track down. Speaking of why, what the hell's going on here? So Kate was in for abdominal surgery, right?
Yes.
And the king was undergoing a corrective procedure on an enlarged prostate. Now, my first thought was they had some kind of group pegging incident that went awry. I think somebody brought the big peg out and they shouldn't have. Now, we'll get castigated for that because everybody loves Kate, don't they?
Well, it sounds to me like she probably had what I had, which was, appendectomy.
Yeah, and the thing is, everybody's going on about, the NHS, she jumped the queue, blah, blah, blah. Well, hold on a minute. Then you jumped the queue, didn't you, Fat Wahlberg? Because you were in there pretty quick.
I mean, I wouldn't say I jumped the queue. I had an emergency procedure in the emergency time frame, yes.
But the NHS were there for you and did it.
Yes, yeah, they did do that.
They didn't keep you in for 2 weeks, mind you, which they're going to do with Kate. That's what that's a lie the rectum to recover.
They had me out of that hospital.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't mind that, to be honest. If I'm within 5 hours after my procedure, I couldn't sleep, so I was riding around the hospital all night on my mobility scooter going wee anyway, with 4 holes in my gut.
Yeah, you'd be fucking popular, arsehole.
Oh no, they were loving it. They had a great time actually, because I was making people laugh all night.
Yeah, apart from the fucking people that wanted to sleep.
Oh, there was nobody else on my ward.
Oh, nobody?
No, I was on my own.
For fuck's
There
sake.
was nobody else in there. No.
So where's the problem? Why? See, this is the problem with the NHS. It's nothing to do with capacity. It's nothing to do with money. It's to do with fucking management ability. That's the problem with the NHS.
There were, I think 6 bays in where I was, and I was the only one in there.
Yeah. So, did you know that Harry's dropped his claim, his defamation claim?
What, against the Sun?
Was it the Mail, Sunday Mail?
Oh, you know what? He's sued everybody, hasn't he?
Yeah, but
Let's face
he's
it.
dropped the claim, which has left him with something like a £750,000 court case bill.
Yeah, but of course he can pay that. Just use his Netflix money that he's never going to make another Netflix show for.
There you go. Right, what are we on now? What's next? Where are we, Ben? What are we going to talk
I
about?
don't know. Well, I don't know. You know, we're already an hour into this shit.
Really? An hour?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this chat. Can we listen to this for a minute?
Well, yeah, I suppose so.
Last night I resigned as a deputy chairman of the Conservative Party. That was a difficult decision, but I think the right thing to do, you know. Tonight I was going to vote no. I went into the no lobby to vote no because I couldn't see how I could support the bill after backing all the amendments. I got into the no lobby, I spent about 2 or 3 minutes with a colleague in there. The Labour lot was all giggling and laughing and taking the mick, and I couldn't do it in my heart of hearts. I could not vote no, so I walked out and come out, so I've abstained. I wanted to vote no, but when I saw that lot in there laughing, there's no way I could support them above the party that's given me a political home. So I hope the bill succeeds. You know, I've got my reservations, Chopper. It's upset me, honestly, over the past 24 hours. It's a difficult thing to do, not to support the government that's been really, really good to me and good to Ashfield. Let's remember this government has given Ashfield like record amounts investment. Like I say, I hope the bill works. I hope it stops the boats, and from now on, the Prime Minister's got my full support.
You seem quite crestfallen, Lee.
I am. I'm gutted, mate.
There's a man on national TV, I think, albeit Sky, right? Fucking just committing complete and utter political suicide.
I was gonna vote no, and the people over the road, they started laughing. Yeah, they're laughing
What
at me.
a fucking wet blanket that man is. Hard as fucking nails, yeah. What a tosspot. I mean, how many people completely lost any respect that they might have had for him? Anything.
So hold on. So he was gonna vote no, right? And then what did was he abstained because the Labour laughed at him, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even though I was gonna vote no, and then I abstained, I hope it gets through. I hope it wins.
Yeah. And the government
So
and
don't
the
vote
Prime
yes, you prick.
and the Prime Minister's got his full support. He's a fucking arsehole. I mean, how big an arsehole do you have to be? I mean, that's just...
That, ladies and gentlemen, is a fine example of what we like to call party politics.
What a dick.
Well, does he believe that bill was the best thing for his constituents? Because if he believes that bill was the best thing for his constituents, he should have gone and voted yes. If he did not believe that bill was going to be the best thing for his constituents, he should have gone and voted no. And you know what? I just can't. I can't with these arseholes. And they're being paid what? 80-odd thousand pound a year plus expenses.
Yeah.
Going-
What a
'Cause
fucking
you-
arsehole.
Do you think Lee's arrived there from his constituency to go and vote on his own dime? Do you really think he has? He's made that journey. Do you think he's paid for that journey to
No,
London? Do
of
you
course
think he's
not.
paying to sleep the night in his second flat that he doesn't pay for in London?
Of course not.
No. These people need to. Well, I say they need to be voted out. At the end of the day, if the system doesn't change, we're just going to get more of the same.
Oh,
This
we
is
need to
gonna be
change. We need
all
to.
we
I mean,
get.
I have to go with this guy Denslow. I mean, he's right. I've been calling for it since 2020. You can't change a system from within. It has to be done from without. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't enter a system and try and change it because it will never work.
We can't keep turning around to people and going, do you know what? This system isn't working for us. let's just go and vote for more Christmas.
Yeah.
With turkeys, gobble, gobble, gobble,
Yeah.
gobble, gobble.
Yeah.
We'll go vote for more Christmas.
Well,
Because
Christmas.
that is every time we go and vote in the next general election. That's exactly what we're doing. Gobble, 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 Christmas.
Yep.
Gobble, 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 Christmas.
Yep. Right. Anyway.
Anywho, if you agree that the system is what needs to be changed and not the party, then don't forget to hit that goddamn like button. Right?
So
Hit
that's
that like button.
do it. This pish has started circulating again. What is this utter fucking nonsense?
Under the advice of legal counsel, I declare that the entire content and attachments of any of all of my posts are for the purposes of personal entertainment, and I do not vouch for the veracity of the content. Furthermore, I in no way waive any and all of my rights as a free citizen of the world to any individual group, agency, government, or any other entity, and that the use of any content posted by me for any purpose other than personal entertainment is not granted. And I have not produced any of the content. All content posted on this site has been collected from this and other websites that have a minimum age requirement of 18 years of age. In addition, my disclaimer, warning, all individuals and or institutions, including local, state, federal, and international law enforcement agencies, using this or any adult friend finder site or its associated sites for projects and or investigations, you do not have my permission to use any of my profile information, pictures, videos, blogs, or stories in any form or forum, both current and future. If you have or do it, it will be considered a violation of my privacy and will be subject to legal action. All images, unless otherwise noted, were taken from the internet and are assumed to be in the public domain. I suggest the rest of you post this notice too.
What the fuck? Right?
I think I did a good job at reading that.
Yeah, I think you did a very good job of reading that. Now, the question I have to ask is, which fucking type of legal counsel did you take? Because no lawyer's going to look at that and go, oh, that's worth putting up, right? Secondly, you've just stated in paragraph 1 that you didn't produce any of the information. Therefore, you don't have any rights to it.
Well, no, of course you don't have
Therefore,
any
in
rights to
paragraph
it.
2, you can't make those claims because you don't have any rights to any of the information that you've just said that you didn't produce.
And furthermore, you've said that it's been taken from the public domain. Well, then you reposting it into the public domain still keeps it in the public domain.
So you can't say any of this shit. You're a fucking idiot, right? And anyone that starts doing this is worse than an idiot because you've read that and thought, oh, that looks like a good idea. I'll put that up as well because it means fuck all and it doesn't give you any protections whatsoever about anything because it's just wank speak.
Well, it absolutely is. And do you know what? All of these sovereign citizens, and that's basically what this is trying to sort of go hand in hand with. All of these people that claim this sovereign citizen stuff, it's great in principle. It is, it is noble in principle, but in practice, you go and do that in front of a court, they are just going to fucking laugh at you.
Still waiting.
Not how it works.
Do you remember we had one on the show? Well, we didn't have them on the show, but it was in the chat, and I said, "You go and change your electricity meter, and tell me how it goes."
Exactly.
And I'm still fucking waiting.
Exactly. We're not saying this to upset people, right? We're saying this because it is the objective reality of the country, especially in which we live. You cannot go into a court and do this sovereign citizen stuff because it's not going to work.
It won't work.
It's not going to work, and you will end up convicted.
Yeah, and probably done for contempt of court as well. It
just doesn't.
It doesn't work.
I'll call Elon, he'll get you out.
I pushed the wrong button, but there you go. Cybertruck stuck in the snow. I'll call Elon, he'll get you out as he drives by these F-150.
I'm sure he will.
Did you hear that lovely diesel? Burble, 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 burble.
Yep.
Fucking arseholes. Sorry. My
You
apologies.
throw me off. You've completely thrown me off my groove now. Gone.
Sorry, mate.
Why is the battery saver on? Oh shit,
Pardon
my
me?
laptop gonna die.
Oh! Danger, danger, high voltage. Get some voltage into it, lad. Get some
Yeah.
voltage in there.
That's what happens when you're having to frantically put a studio back together.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you credit. You did it in jig time.
I'm actually shocked that the microphones even worked.
I'm just shocked everything worked. And the thing is, you came on screen and you looked fine. You wouldn't even have known if you hadn't shown me the picture of the
I mean, let's
The-
face
the
it. All they
devastation.
did was unplug a few fucking wires, throw some stuff over, and snap me big bloody stand in two.
Yeah, it wasn't very nice.
So
at
now
all.
my big stand holding the lighting, because the lighting was
Yeah.
sort of up here, but now it's up in directly in the corner. Because what I've had to do is I've had to take the base off it, because obviously there is no base on it now because it's snapped off, and I've wedged it behind a monitor in the corner.
Oh, you've done
So-
well. Adapt and accommodate. That's what you've done.
And I've got a very tight diagonal wire going from here
That's what she said.
right across here.
Right, okay. So moving on. Kim.com posted this today, and somebody was having a go at Jacinda, and he goes, This is Kim.com, right? Fat German immigrant of New Zealand who is trying to be extradited to
Would you like me to read this in a more
Yeah.
Kim.com style voice?
who is trying to be extradited to the United States, right? Go-
Nine! I disagree. I know Jacinda. She's a good person and has tried her hardest to protect New Zealanders. I'm more Russian at the moment for some
Yeah,
reason.
well, I thought you were more.
Das ist
it
nicht
was-
gut. She has become a victim of US government-funded gain-of-function research, which resulted in COVID-19, and she has been lied to like every other leader, yeah?
What the fuck is the fat get on? I mean, really, what's he on? He's lost it.
She has tried to take my extradition away, and so I think she is good people, yeah?
He's a fucking wanker, isn't he? I mean, really. I mean, you know what the definition of a leader would be for me? It would be someone who fucking who has a look at the situation, who examines the evidence and the data, comes to a determination, makes a strategy, and goes forward for the good of the people that are relying on them.
9!
Not someone that fucking shuts the country for 2 years, closes the economy, kills a fifth of it, which was a tourism industry, and then fucking sits there with her finger up her arse and does fuck all for the rest of it.
Well, that's the definition of a good leader, John.
Yeah, she's a fucking idiot.
What are you talking about, John? Jacinda is my favorite horse.
I don't know what that accent is, mate, but it's like something out of Hello.
She is my favorite horse, yeah.
Yeah. Was ist das? You see, the thing about German is it always sounds angry, doesn't it? You know, no matter what you're saying, you can be saying "I love you," and it sounds like you're absolutely tearing
Ich
into.
liebe du.
Yeah, see what I mean? Ich liebe du.
Ich liebe du. Nein! Ja, das ist gut, ja! Das
Ein-
ist gut!
Ein drei Bier bitte. But anyway, it's fucking nuts, German. It really is. Yeah.
When ist dein Geburtstag?
Yeah.
Do you know what I just said there?
No.
I said, when is your birthday?
Right. Little bit of light relief. Here we go. Yeah. So yeah, these things, some of them are funny. That one wasn't too bad. It wasn't bad.
You know what? Do you know what I've learned from that?
Mm-hmm.
Construction workers are assholes too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. What about the guy putting the mud on the spade?
My
His
favourite was the guy
fingers.
that my guy was the favourite that threw the fucking can in under the sledgehammer.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I quite liked that. It was quite humorous, I thought. Speaking of humorous, here's a novel way of making your way to the to your last final resting place. So
They could well have had an orgy in my chair. I did replace the cushion, Vaughan.
So you can get this Trotters Independent Trading Funeral. Somebody
I'll take
said
that.
they have the funeral director dressed as Batman and Robin running in front of it, but I don't think they do. It would be good if they did, though.
That might be an elaborate Photoshop job, but it's still pretty cool.
No, I think that's real. Actually, I think it's real.
I'm still of the
what?
persuasion of being frozen when I die. I want to be frozen.
What, you think you're coming back?
No, I just want people to be able to look at me.
Head in a jar. Get yourself pickled and put in the British Museum or something like that. Anyway, let's have a look at this. What is this one next?
Build a new Workers' Party, a socialist alternative to Sunak and Starmer for a socialist intifada.
Yeah.
What's a socialist intifada?
If I'm being honest with you, I just got this at the stand over there.
Okay.
I don't actually know the definition of the word intifada.
Okay.
But, I mean...
Do any of you know the definition of the word intifada? So what about that one?
From the river to the sea.
Yeah. And what does that mean?
Well, it means to... it's...
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. What does that mean?
Well, it's quite self-explanatory. It needs to be...
Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that, isn't it? Because I guess what I mean is, how would that come about? What would happen to the Israelis, etc.?
I don't.
I'm trying to think of how to word it. Isn't it just as self-explanatory as the area of land? It's Palestine's land.
Yeah. So when you say Palestine, which bit do you mean?
These people are thick, aren't they?
I think that's about enough. And that there was Constantine Kissin of Trigonometry Podcast, who many people on the right, which I must remind you I am not, call controlled opposition. They call Constantine part of the cabal. I must point that out. But he simply went to the Palestine, I think it was the latest pro-Palestine demonstration this past weekend, and asked people, young British folks predominantly, what their signs actually meant. And for the most part, they had no fucking clue, did they, John?
They had no clue whatsoever, mate. Do you know what an intifada is?
Well, an intifada.
Intifada, yeah.
Is a rebellion or uprising, often linked to extreme violence or terrorism.
Yeah, there you go. Imagine that. So imagine calling for that in the streets of Britain.
A socialist intifada, nonetheless.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I'm a bit confused as to what a socialist Workers' of Party Britain socialist intifada has to do with Palestine.
Yeah.
I'm a bit confused. However, it's about the only way the socialists are gonna get what they want, isn't it?
So, speaking of being confused, what the hell is going on with Kanye, right?
Is he at it again?
Oh, look what he's done. $850,000 titanium dentures. He looks like the clown out of Jaws. Yeah, sorry, he looks like the clown Jaws out of that James Bond movie.
James Bond.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I would just like to have £850 worth of dental work done right now.
But bloody hell, what a complete and utter twat.
Well, at the end of the day, if you've got the money to spend, then feel free to spend it on whatever the hell you like. And we will feel free to mock you for it, Kanye.
Yeah, we certainly will. I mean, look at the guy looking at him. He's thinking, what a twat. That's not Chris Rock looking at him. Anyway, yeah, that was Kanye.
I don't understand Kanye West, because he made an apology in Hebrew, didn't he? He made an apology in Hebrew to the Jewish community.
Did he?
Oh yeah, it was on his Instagram, I believe. Made an apology in Hebrew to the Jewish community. Then the Jewish community said no thanks, Kanye, which was interesting. Then he had his little Venetian
escapade.
Vacation, just
Yeah.
Then he turned up in Vegas the other day with his wife wearing nothing. Let's call it what it was. She was wearing nothing.
Yeah, basically.
And now he's turned up looking like that. He wants to release a new album soon, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't know what he wants to do, really. Do you think he knows what he wants to do?
Yeah, I think, remember, he used to be a billionaire. Now he's no longer a billionaire because he lost all of his brand deals for going on Alex Jones.
So is he just a millionaire?
He's just a millionaire now, yeah.
My heart's pumping Pash for him.
And so he wants to be a billionaire again. He's like, how am I going to do that? I know. I'm a genius. I'll release a new album.
Do you recognise this guy, Robert Smith, from The Cure? That's a guy from The Cure, isn't it?
I'm waiting for it to pop up.
Okay.
Behind on my screen.
So some bird posts, why can't I find a guy like this, right? And
then he pops up and says, hey.
And she goes, no. And he's going, I'm literally the guy in the pic. Was quite a while ago, though. That would be the 80s that pic was taken, mate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but he is literally the guy in the pic.
He literally is. And he still actually does look a bit like him. He's just less heavy on the makeup.
Yeah, I mean, Robert Smith, Edward Scissorhands, you can't really tell the difference, can you?
Yeah, no. So, there you go. Silly Cow. Yep. Yeah, it was 80s, though.
Aye.
I've been watching 80s movies. I watched Porky's trilogy the other day.
How did Porky spawn a trilogy?
It's terrible. The first one was okay, but the other two are just really bad.
Well, I would contest that the first one is really bad, and then the first two are even worse.
It was quite funny. I'm gonna watch Weird Science next.
We've got just a few weeks out, actually, because they've moved up the release date for the next Ghostbusters movie just to the beginning of March now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to that this year.
Is that like the? This isn't the original cast. This is.
They are in it, yes.
Oh, they are in it, right? Again.
Except Harold Ramis, who's not reappearing as a ghost this time, I believe, thankfully.
Right.
But yeah, they are in it. They're not the main stars, but they're definitely in it. So I'm looking forward to it.
Cool. Cool.
There are some movies coming up which I'm going to review over on the other channel. Shameless plug time, The Real Review UK. Go and find it. Go and subscribe to it if you haven't already. YouTube partners now, but we still need 1,000 subscribers to get ads. So go and subscribe.
Yeah, yeah. I also watched the National Lampoon's Animal House. That was quite funny again. I mean, I've seen that a lot, but that was quite funny again, having not seen it for ages.
National Lampoon's made some great movies in the day.
Yeah.
And they'd never get made now. They'd never get made now.
Not at all. I mean, the 80s. In fact, you know what I watched today? I watched the first ever episode of Till Death Do Us Part.
Never saw it.
Alf Garnett.
Never saw it.
It's incredibly topical because it's all politics, right?
Right.
And, you know, I was thinking I could take clips out of this and make a video out of it because everything he's saying is relevant to what's going on right now. It's crazy.
Okay, I'd like to address the audience quickly. Don't put me big screen or anything. Right? I just want to address the audience. And I want you to do some research for a video that will be coming out on Chasing Dissent over the next couple of days. I simply want to research. I want you to research somebody called Vegan Booty. Because we're going to be talking about her in a video. That's all I will say for now.
Okay.
My God. I have been down some rabbit holes these past few days. I've been working my ass off, but I've also been down some rabbit holes. Okay. And this woman She is Australian. She's a TikToker and YouTuber. And she is nuts. And we're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great time talking about her name. Her real name's Tash Peterson. But her name is Vegan Booty. And we'll be talking about her. So go and do some research. And we can all have a little laugh together.
Cool. Right, let's listen to Mr. Lavrov. Speaking of going down rabbit holes. And this is an old one. But it's an old one, but I did like it. So I thought I'll put it on the show.
What do you think of Donald Trump's Pussy Riot moment?
Well, I don't know whether this would... English is not my mother tongue. I don't know whether I would be... I would sound, decent. There are so many pussies around your presidential campaign on both sides that I prefer not to comment about this.
Oh my goodness. I wasn't expecting that.
He had sex with her later, didn't he? He was right in there, wasn't he? He was. Come on, you gotta admit it. He was right in there. She was receptive, I'm telling you.
I'm saying absolutely nothing. You one-track-minded freak, you!
Not at all.
You sick one-track, you naughty boy, you!
Yeah, whatever. There you go. These Lego things are quite humorous. They really are. I quite like them.
Oh yeah, they are. But do you know what? Dumb Luca's really latched on to the tunnels, hasn't he? Really latched onto the tunnels.
Oh. Did you see him on Tim Pool? No, I didn't.
I did not see him.
I think Ben Davidson was on Tim Pool today.
Look, I like Tim Pool, actually. I like him quite a bit. I think he's a bit of an arsehole. But then who's not?
Guilty as charged.
Who's not, quite frankly.
Well, I tell you what I started watching today and didn't continue.
What's that? You tell me.
The Why Files. I really didn't enjoy it.
No, I didn't enjoy today's episode as well.
And you know, one of the things that really pissed me off was, one, he kind of got the whole thing the wrong way round, I think, right?
Right.
Two, there's no evidence that Neanderthals ate humans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And thirdly, every picture was AI-generated bullshit that looked nothing like a Neanderthal.
Yeah, he used so much AI. And even my son... My son this morning kept saying, that's AI generated. He's 9.
The Why Files, Shalini, not the Why Files.
Yeah. He's 9 years old, and he pointed that out as well. I have a question for everybody. What's the maximum quality you can see this show in today?
Why?
Because the maximum I can choose is 360p.
What?
The maximum I can choose, and I've
I heard you. I heard you. Right, give me a second.
Spencer's got it in 1080.
Oh, there you go. It's available. It should be available. It's broadcast in 1080.
So what the hell is going on at my end? That's very odd. Oh,
yeah. Right. So Spencer's got it.
I'm glad I asked, because if there was an F up, then we would have known.
Yeah, Vaughn's getting 1080. Tony can get 1080. DW says it's strange that I'm still up, and it's strange that you're commenting, mate. It's good to see you again. Get involved more. What's stranger is yesterday with the moon out at the same time gave me an energy boost. Oh my god, DW is a werewolf. Maybe we should interview him for the Dog Man. Dog Man.
Well,
yeah. Your auto default to 720 probably most of the time. I never use auto. It's pretty crap. But yeah, okay, right. I think I queued up the next video, did I? Let's go.
Better's done.
Sex behind clubs, behind the bins. And now you know what they're coming for. They're coming for large wine glasses. They want to make it so that now you can't do anything. You're not allowed to smoke, you're not allowed to have fun, you're not allowed to laugh. And now you're not going to be allowed a large glass of wine. You're only going to be allowed a small one or a medium one. So I just want to say to those Cambridge researchers who think that this is a good idea, would you mind fucking right off on some miserable donkey? And once you get there, would you mind just fucking off some more?
I'm with Katie on that one.
I don't understand it.
But it's like, well, I know, you know exactly what it is, mate. It's nanny state. It's nanny state. That's all it is.
Well, look, it's exactly what I said. So when I went on TNT last Friday,
Yeah.
and we were talking about toothbrushing.
Did you like the way he dropped that in, that he was on TNT last Friday?
I mean, we didn't really spend the time talking about toothbrushing because it wasn't about that. It was an allegory for just getting used to more state oversight and more control and
allegory.
More getting used to doing as you're told. And do you know what? These things are not for you and me.
No.
They're not for you and me. They're for the
not.
next generation. They're for the next generation and even the generation beyond that, because it's simply death by 1,000 cuts. It's taking away the rights until we have a generation that are born that have never known the type of freedoms, if we can even call what we had that we knew.
Mm-hmm.
They never knew it. How can you miss what you haven't had? And that's the long term. If there is a long-term goal, that's the long-term goal. That is the long-term goal.
Yeah, probably.
In my opinion.
Yeah, okay. Right, more video. Yeah. It makes me fucking ashamed to the very core of my being to actually say that I'm Scottish.
Ha!
What a fucking bunch of tools. Really?
Look, my family name on my mother's side was McEwen. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I'm one of you, unfortunately. Do you really want to walk like a penguin? Or, as the Bangles sang once, and famously, what was it they sung?
Walk like an Egyptian.
Joe Biden.
Right, so, yes, coming up, we have Bike Wanker of the Week. I like this one because it's a lady bike wanker, I think.
Okay.
There was no sound. Woo, woo, woo. Fucking bike wanker.
You really don't like bikes, do you?
I fucking detest them. Because they're all sanctimonious pricks. They really are.
This is from the man who spent his years on motorbikes.
Motorbike's completely different from a fucking person.
Two wheels.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's completely different. Yeah, I really detest. Nutting. You know, they do my nutting. They're complete assholes.
Why are we watching it again?
Because I'm a tit. Okay? I'm a tit with fucking sausages of the king's hands. Well, actually, they don't look that bad. Oh, no,
It'll get worse if you keep drinking.
They're nowhere near as bad as the sausages of the king's hands. I've got quite delicate fingers there, haven't I? Mm-hmm. You've got hands like a girl. They're tiny. You've got tiny hands. That's quite handy because they make your cock look bigger.
I'll take that.
So,
I'll take that.
What was I going to say? So, no adverts on this show, people, because we've turned off monetization. So, if you think that you really like it and you want to give us something, then feel free to support us at ko-fi.com/Chasing Descent. And I know it's the turn of the year, and I know you're skint, but so are we. But, you know, anything, price of a coffee, price of a hamburger, anything helps. And we appreciate those. We appreciate those that donate to us monthly. We really do. In fact, maybe we should run the roll because we didn't run it last time, did we? We didn't run the what do you call it? There you go. Thank you, one and all citizens of Veradora. It's good to see you there, and we do appreciate it.
The other ways that you can support us if you think that we are worthy is patreon.com/Chasing Descent, or right here on YouTube. You can click that join button and become a channel member, or as we like to call them, the Veradoran Asylum Seekers. But we do absolutely support anything. But the best thing you can do right now for us, just click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the shows out if you enjoy them. We really do appreciate it, and we appreciate you guys greatly. And we want to grow this thing. We want to grow the other channel. And there's going to be a lot more content on both going forwards. So
the French ambassador, was called to Moscow, right? To explain why 60 French mercenaries were killed by Russian missile strikes in Kharkiv. When France says we don't have anyone fighting in Ukraine.
Look.
Yes.
You have to take the French at their word here, okay?
The cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
You have to take the French at their word here.
Yeah.
If they say there were, if they say there were no French,
well, they're shipping the bodies back to France.
Mannequins, John. Mannequins.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Second last video. Here we go. Ready? I think this sums up problem solving and just dealing with things, which, and I'm not being nasty here. I think women tend to just deal with things and men look at everything as a problem to be solved. And I think this just sums it up in one go. Yeah. I thought it was quite funny.
I don't understand why she did that. But do you know what?
Because women just deal with things.
Yeah, but I always look at these videos and I go, why was somebody there filming that at that exact moment?
Of course it was fake. Of course it's fake.
It's fake.
But it illustrates the differences between men and women, and I think that's still relevant. Okay? It's like these Ring doorbells. These things are pissing me off. You know, they're all fake. You know.
Yeah.
And they're just
Yeah.
pathetic. I think I had a rant about them last night on the show with Ed. Right, what do you want? What do you want to finish on, a video or a slide?
Finish on the slide. Give the video.
Right. Okay. Well, let's. Here's the last video.
You know what I just figured out? It is a good damn thing that they make sports bras for when you go to the gym. Because can you imagine you're beside me on the treadmill and I'm like, what would you do?
So, why does she feel the need to be like that? Because you're not even wearing a bra to start with.
I think she made that video for the sole intention of
clicks and
being
likes.
what they like to call on the internet these days a thirst trap.
Yeah.
Is that? Tell me in the comments. Tell me in the chat. Is that the correct terminology here?
A thirst trap.
A thirst trap. Am I being down with the youngsters here? Am I being hip? Am I being? Oh my God, I can't actually believe I asked. Am I being hip?
Am I being hip?
Am I being
Hello,
hip?
1976. Ben wants to know if he's being hip. Am I going fucking bald? What's that? What's that?
What do you mean are you going bald? Of course you are.
Fuck you. What's that? That looks a bit light. A bit light of hair back there.
I believe the chat is validating me. They're saying I was correct.
Yeah, hoochie coochie. Don't slut shame, Shalini. Ooh. Thirst trap. Thirst.
A thirst
Oh,
trap.
I thought you said first.
Yeah, as in first.
Thirst. Yeah, you have a problem with your THs. You can't say them. You know that.
It's because I've got half my fucking teeth missing already, and I'm going to lose the rest of them.
Yeah, okay. Hey, right. So, is there anybody wanting to bring anything up?
Maybe not.
Go on. What do you want to bring up?
That's a Jim Fott right there, says Vaughn. Well, it's look, it's TikTok. It's TikTok, and that's basically those are the categories you've got on TikTok. You've got thirst traps, fat and body positivity movement and acceptance, LGBTQWXYZ WXK 14 letters and all of that. I'm sorry, it used to be LGB when I was growing up, and then it was LGBT, and then I can't keep up. I just cannot keep up.
When I was growing up, it was called. I'll stop myself right there. I can't say it.
Just don't. Yeah, just don't. Because you will reveal just how old you truly are.
Yeah.
So just don't do that.
Right. Yeah. I can't do TikTok. Oh, you know what I downloaded today? I downloaded an app. Well, not an app, an extension, right? For Firefox. It stops me seeing I don't see shorts on YouTube feed anymore.
How long until they start slowing down your CPU for that?
No, they can't. They can't.
They've now implemented something to slow down the CPU of those using ad blockers. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently, but it doesn't seem to be affecting me. I think because
I've just run out of water.
Yeah, the slide that's ready. It doesn't affect me because I turned off everything. Windows does not report back to the mothership. I have like 2 different things installed that stops all telemetry. Windows can't even fucking check to see if it needs to wipe its arse without me giving it the say so.
Has Shalini recorded that video for you?
Yes, she has.
Have you received it?
Yeah, I did.
And you didn't put it on tonight?
I forgot about it.
You are just...
I tell you what.
Fucking useless.
Give me 2 seconds. I'll just queue it up.
He's going to queue it up.
I'll queue it up. It won't take long.
She spent her time doing as you asked, you didn't even have it ready.
I think she actually got Vaughn out of his bed to do it, to be fair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got him out of his pit.
Yeah.
And boys and girls, before we go into this, Vaughn is seriously ill. He has the coof.
He's not seriously ill. What do you
He
mean?
has the coof,
How do
people.
he doesn't have the coof. He's got a fucking cold.
I've decided he does.
He's got man flu.
I've decided he's got the coof. Is it ready?
I said I would queue it up, didn't I? Give me a
So is it
second.
ready?
Nearly. Fuck's sake.
I haven't seen this yet.
Well, you're going to see it in a second if you stop giving me hassle.
He just said, wait, you asked Shalini to film it?
Yeah.
She turned around to him and gone, they've asked you to film it.
Yeah, we asked Shalini on the meeting this morning to film it.
Yeah, Vaughn might have disease X.
Disease X? No, for fuck's sake, people. Disease X doesn't exist.
Well, tell that to Vaughn.
Where's it gone? Why is it not there? Dun 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 dun. Amuse yourself, people. Speak to them, Ben.
We've got them all excited now, John. You said I'll queue it up. Give me a minute.
Yeah, I'm trying to queue it up, but it seems to have disappeared. What's that video? There it's there.
Vaughn has just admitted it, people. He's got X. He says, I've got X, okay? There you go. Apparently, the flat is is full of the pungent aroma of albus oil.
Albus oil? Oh, for God's sake, he's such a girl.
Yeah, he's hamming it up. Completely and utterly.
He has. Hold on. I think it's...
The wife has informed me she's found another padlock.
All right, that's good.
That is good. So, anyway, whilst we do wait for John to do this, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again, we do appreciate you. We do like you. We're quite fond of you, except maybe one of you. You know who you are. Anyway, we would like you to show us a little bit of that appreciation.
I have it. I have it queued.
Click the like button. Just click the like.
I have it queued and ready to go.
Right.
Are you ready? I like the way it's export quality.
I'm a little bit disappointed in that.
In the canned wombat.
No, not in the canned wombat, but in the presentation.
Oh yeah, well, no voiceover and like that.
No voiceover. No voiceover.
Yeah, you get these.
There you go. Just have the canned wombat on the
Well, you know, it would
right?
have been it would have been different if we were doing like a proper production, like we did for the Deadly Day at Dade. The poorly acted audio dramatization of
with half of us speaking into our phones, going, "What the fuck is this guy telling us to do?"
Of the FBI's worst shootout ever.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my phone, going, hold on. In fact, I paused them and I said to them, guys, I can't read this shit. I've got to go and find my glasses.
Yeah, he did that. In fact, that was quite appropriate because one of the FBI agents lost his glasses and was unable to take part in the gunfight because he couldn't see anything.
That's Velma, isn't it? That's Velma from Scooby-Doo. My glasses! My glasses! Where are my glasses?
And then what freaked me out was Adam saying that was brilliant. We should do one every day.
He did. He said we should do that every single day, guys. I'm like, no, okay, no, you can. Right, you can record yourself a little voice play every day if you'd like, Adam. Nobody's stopping you.
No, don't let him do that. You know what happens when Adam starts recording himself? It turns into pedo in the basement.
He just said, I do it alone just to myself.
Yeah, it turns into pedo in the basement. It always does.
It really does as well. It's quite terrifying. Hello, they've locked me in the basement.
Speaking of pedos in the basement, what do you make of this one?
What am I looking at?
Contactless card machines to be introduced in Catholic churches, you know, for the donations and all that. And this guy replies and goes, just need contactless priests now, and we're laughing. As always, it's been great for you.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, heart full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop off. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to, something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get